Hey everybody, I am back. Welcome to the Purple Aid Society YouTube channel, my 4D university to help us to step into fourth dimensional thinking. I've got music playlists, lecture playlists, audiobook playlists. I've got just all kind of great playlists on the channel, personal videos as well. This video is a part of my series called Demystifying the Tarot. There is a playlist for that as well, where this video will be stored in all previous videos in the series, and we'll be jumping into the 8 cards today. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. Stay till the end. I'll tell you a little bit about my $7 a month mystery school. We're having a lot of fun over on Substack with that. So let's get into our 8 cards. Now, 8 deals with action and movement. It's a movement oriented card. So it either deals with movement or the inability to move, the desire to move, being able to move, something moving us. It just deals with movement. So it's action oriented. 8 of Swords deals with a restricted movement. Okay. And it's mental restriction because Swords deals with our minds, and it's a picture of a woman standing on a beach. And so there's waves crashing, so the emotions are kind of all over the place a little bit because of what's happening in her mental situation. She is tied up and blindfolded on this beach, and these 8 swords are stabbed down into the ground. And so there's some mental restriction. She feels blocked. She feels stuck. There's some frustration going on, feeling kind of like in bondage, unable to move, and it's because of whatever these mental restrictions are. It could be fear, it could be trauma, it could be self-esteem issues, could be grief. Something in her mental space is making it hard for her to move. The goal of this card is to figure out, what these swords are, what these thoughts or ideas or beliefs are that are keeping one stuck, so that you can pull each sword up out of the ground, give it away, whatever you need to do, and find or use one of the swords to untie you, the ropes that have you bound, and to cut the blindfolds off. It's hard to see. It's hard to think straight. It's hard to move. She's just having a hard time moving because she is under some mental restriction. The next card is the 8 of Wands. And we talked about wands being our intentions and our purpose. And 8 of Wands is like very action oriented, because wands are action oriented. Wands are about waving a wand and bringing that which is in the realm of possibility, the realm of pure potentiality, the realm of the mind, the realm of the unseen, the ether, taking those things and bringing it into the physical reality. So it's the work and the passion and the purpose and the intentions and the deep desires, the magic, excuse me, the energy to actually make that happen. So it's a picture of these 8 wands that are sort of stabbed into the ground. And then 8 arrows are coming in. And if you think about what arrows represent, a lot of times arrows represented, arrows would come in if there was some indigenous tribal battles going on with the arrows. So there's a lot of movement and a lot of energy and a lot of, how can I say it? I guess the best way to describe it is a lot of energy around these arrows coming in. But the other thing that arrows do is they can be signals, tribal signals or signals for people in our tribe our tribe who have gone out to do work in some kind of way. They could be sending a message. So they could be, sending this arrow to say, oh, there's danger, or something good is afoot, or we're okay. It's a message oriented. And these 8 wands are coming in at like top speed. So new information, new ideas, or some kind of change, but it's new movement, new energy based on something speedy happening. There's a sense of urgency with this card. Urgent movement, urgent information about movement, urgent desire about movement, urgent messages about movement, or urgent need for movement, a message of urgency relating to movement, relating to our desires and our intentions and what it is that we want to manifest. Okay. Then we pull the Eight of Cups. And cups, as we know, deal with our emotions. Cups deal with our feelings. Okay. The water poured into the cups. And this man, he's moving away from these old emotions. Okay. He's also on a beach. The moon is out, so that deals with deep emotion and intuition. But then the waves are crashing more in this card than they were in the Eight of Swords card. And the cups are on the ground, and he's just moving away from certain feelings. It's almost like letting sleeping dogs lie. There's nothing else that, that can be done. Like, it's time to just walk away from this. And sometimes our movement, depending on what the emotion is, some emotions create movement, and some emotions need to be moved away from. And as it appears in this card, he's moving away. So it could be change. Like a lot of times we move from old emotions when we release old beliefs that no longer serve us, or if we come to acceptance or forgiveness about a thing, we can move away from old emotions and walk into something deep. But even in the walking away from those emotions, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's an easy thing to do. This card sort of insinuates a little bit of emotional pain in that process, because sometimes letting things go, even letting people go, relationships go, letting a person go because they passed away, letting an idea go, or just letting things go. There's a feeling of grief related to that. Like, because the things that we're letting go of, if it's hard for us to let them go, it's because the thing that we're letting go of has become a part of our identity. We identify with it in some way. We believe that this somehow is an extension of who we are, and that is what makes it hard to let a thing go. Like, if let's say for instance, you were dating someone for, a little while, didn't really build up any emotional connection or anything of that nature, and then you find it's not right. It's easy to break up and move on from that. It's different when it's someone that you've known for a long time, if you've created an emotional bond with, and you have to walk away. There's more emotional depth, and there's more emotional wounding and pain and grief associated with that. So it's not necessarily the happiest card, but remember, I always look at how the card I don't look at predictive readings, because I don't feel like that's, to me, I'm not speaking on anyone else's readings. I don't believe that's rational, nor do I believe that was the intention of the tarot, to be read like that. I believe it is a prompt to help us look within deeper. So even if the card doesn't feel good, it's just shadow work. It's just bringing up, okay, if it doesn't feel good, why? What are the emotional things that we're either needing to walk away from, or afraid to walk away from, or there's no other option but to walk away from? What are those things? What are those emotions or situations? What are those relationships or situationships that are requiring walking away, or requiring being walked away from? And why does this hurt? Why does this cause emotional suffering? Why does this cause grief? And work with that so that the walking away can be easier, versus just walking away and being stuck in emotions that you're not really working through, not doing the shadow work through. So this card, it deals with the walking away from negative emotions, but it also deals with how we can use that emotion to go within deeper and to gain a little bit more self-awareness and understanding about ourselves in the situation, so that we can know where we're walking and moving towards in the future. Okay. It's not just walking away. We're walking towards something. Okay. And then the last card we pulled is the Eight of Pentacles card. And this is movement related to work, movement related to the resources that we create for ourselves. Because remember, our pentacles, just like the playing card version of diamonds, they're both the metal to create the pentacle and the diamond are both mined from the earth, and they both hold value. And so this man is doing the movement. He's doing the activity. He's action oriented in creating his own pentacles or repairing his own pentacles. And so there's these 6 pentacles that are aligned down this tree. One is on the side as if he's finished working on it, and then he's actually hammering a nail into a pentacle. He's actually creating his own pentacle. He's doing the work of creating the resource. It's an action orientation dealing with The resources, again, like I say, the resources that we want to bring in and attract, the resources that we want to manage and maintain, and the resources that we want to use other resources to gain more of. And he's doing that work. He's actively building and repairing and creating his own resources, whether that resource is money, the healing of the physical body, like going out and running, developing his physical body, like going, weightlifting or eating properly, or the action of reading and studying, the action of applying for a job, or the action of starting a business. It's action related to how we bring those resources in, and he's doing that work. And see, the eights are so simple because it's just, the eights are not that complex at all. It's movement, restriction from movement, the desire for movement, and that's really it. So this was very simple, real easy, and you got it. I said, as usual, I was going to talk about my mystery school. It's on Substack. It's called the Inner Forward Mystery School. I've been a tarot practitioner for 13 years now, and I have a mystery school that I started during COVID that I've moved now to Substack. And the basis of it is using a 10-card tarot reading, not to predict future events, but to look at the symbols on the cards, to look at the meaning of the cards, to help us do shadow work, to help us understand the soul's journey, to do the decoding, the decoding necessary for understanding the things and the patterns happening in the universe, understanding ancient mythology and ancient spiritual sciences. We go into the soul's journey in film and TV. It's just a great conversation about how the symbols work, and my members of the Inner Forward are really having a good time. And I hope you join me as well. It's only $7 a month. So if you're interested in that, know that it's going to, be something that's going to help you do your own shadow work, help you open up the shadows within you so that you can work through them, and help you just make sense of what's happening in the world around us, even the stuff that's happening politically or cosmically or socially. It's just a really fun conversation that we're having, and it's great. My readings, my personal readings that I've done, I'm moving away from doing individual readings. I've done hundreds and hundreds of them. I'm moving away from them because I really prefer the education side of it. But as a tarot practitioner, most of my clients were repeat clients or referral clients, and they really appreciated the work that I was doing. I've gotten, just a lot of support from the community for the readings that I do, because it's not predictive. It's more, I don't look at predictive readings because I don't feel like that's the mature way to deal with the tarot. I don't feel like that's the emotionally intelligent way to deal with the tarot, because that's us trying to control outcomes, where the way that I read tarot and the way that I feel like it was intended was just as prompts to look at what's going on within us so that we can develop the inner power versus the external control. The external control is often based in insecurity, but the internal power is based in personal empowerment. And that's how I go about doing readings from that point of view. But you get a whole scope of information, just a wide range of knowledge about the cards and the history of the cards and the history of these cultures and the history of these spiritual sciences and the history of the mythology and what the fairy kingdom really represents and what the deities really represent, and how Hollywood and how mainstream media takes these symbols and these archetypes and twists them and uses them against us. And I help you get back under control what they mean so that they can't use them against you, and you can use them for your own benefit. That's really what my mystery school does. And it also, one of the other things I always say that my mystery school does is about detoxifying the personality. When you look at a card and you see conflict in a card, and it forces you to look at the conflicts that you have, it forces you to look at patterns in conflicts that you have. It forces you to look at how your triggers come out in conflict. And we go through all of that. And we also have a book club. We've just begun reading How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. So click the link in my in the description of this video. Check it out. You can listen to the first episode, listen to one episode, whichever one you want to listen to one episode for free so you can get a sense of what it is that we're doing. And if you're interested, join the mystery school. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you guys next time where we dive into the 9 cards. Okay, bye-bye.